I ain't like this.
No?
Uh-oh, we
Well, it's
live.
fine. We're live now?
Yes, let me put you live on here.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's the tech guy. We're live now, or all right, so normally you said start the song at 7?
Yep.
Mm. So one more minute, we play the song. Hopefully everybody can hear because I just played on my phone. So I'm like watching the screen, the phone, and then we get it going. But we are live. It's the Deals and Heels podcast, and we have a special guest tonight, Desiree Stewart, and she is a mortgage specialist, and she's going to bring you some amazing information for all you first-time home buyers or people who want to become a first-time home buyer. This is definitely the podcast for you. So listen in, get your popcorn, get your drink, whatever, and get ready to have some fun with Desiree and Deals and Heels. And thanks for tuning in, everyone. My brand Deals and Heels, we're all about women empowerment.
Mm-hmm.
So we have Desiree here to help you get those keys to your new home.
That's
So
right.
we can empower you, and we find financial freedom through home ownership, and we're going to be talking all about it soon. So I always play my song, ladies, so here we go. It's a feel good song. Can you hear it, Desiree? I can't wait.
Mm-hmm.
She can't hear it. There's the tech guy. So I always play this because it's a really feel-good song. It's an old one by Celine Dion. But we are alive, and this is the time to do what you got to do. Don't have regrets in life.
Right.
We are alive. Now is the time. So Desiree, yeah, we usually jam to this song in the beginning.
Well, I like it.
Right? It's a
Look,
feel-good.
any motivational music is always a good thing.
Just a little feel-good song that I like. Inspiring. A lot of people go through their life wishing, you get towards the end and you're wishing and regretting. We don't want that. We want to
No,
make things happen, ladies.
that's right.
You can do it. You can do whatever it is you want. And Desiree Stewart is here today to help provide all that wonderful information to help you become a first-time home buyer.
Yes.
We as women, we have so many responsibilities. We have kids to take care of, jobs, husbands. Why can't we own a home? We definitely can.
You can. Yes.
We're going to be here to provide you the tools to do it. My husband's over there jamming in the background.
Okay.
I hear his toes tapping.
That's your hype man.
Come on, ladies, we're live. When you call on Desiree Stewart. Yes. Give her a call. Give your girl Deals and Heels a call.
Yes.
I'm here to help. Women empowering women. And men, we help the men too.
Yes, they
We
need a
don't
house too.
discriminate. Men need help too. Okay, there you have it. So welcome everyone. We have Desiree Stewart. She is a mortgage officer and she is here to do a first-time homebuyer seminar.
Mm-hmm.
So we are going to get started, right, Desiree?
Yes, let's get started. Well, thank you, Miss Christine, for inviting me. I appreciate the opportunity to be on your podcast and just to
Sure.
educate us women and get people into these homes in 2026.
Absolutely.
I always have conversations with people about buying a home, and it's like it's sometime in their mind it's like so far away, and I'm like, actually, it's not. Let's kind of narrow it down. Let's get the process started so we can walk you through this journey.
Absolutely. First, Desiree, let's hear little bit about you before we
Okay.
get started and dive deeper. So tell us a little bit
Okay.
about yourself.
Well, I am a 41-year-old young lady.
Looking like 21.
I am 24 in my mind. Um, I have been in North Carolina all my life. I
Okay.
have two girls.
Nice.
The age are really spanned out. So one is 20, the other one is 4. We'll talk about that another day.
I know.
But they keep me on my toes. My husband is was in the Navy.
Nice.
We live in Greensboro. Both our mothers are still living. They're like 30-45 minute drive from us. Yeah, we do family stuff. We love to barbecue, cook out. We currently have snow now in North Carolina,
Isn't that
which
something?
is rare.
Yes, it is.
Like we got 8 inches of snow in Greensboro, and I'm like, we ain't in PA, we ain't
Yes.
in New York. What is this?
Yes.
So hopefully it'll be gone by tomorrow. But yeah, I love anything outside. I'm an outdoors person. I don't care if I fix a ham and cheese sandwich. I'm going to eat it outside. That's me. Yeah.
Awesome. I just want to say hi. There's a few ladies saying hello.
I
Samantha,
see.
Misty, Recipe. Hi, ladies. Welcome.
Hi.
Thanks for tuning in. I like to spotlight, of course, women, and we just want to dive deep today
Yeah.
because sometimes women are afraid to. They think there's a lot more to buying a home, and when you don't know the process, it can be scary
Yeah.
until you are explain the process. So we
Mm-hmm.
don't want you to be afraid. We want you to ask those uncomfortable questions today.
Yes.
Everybody has to start somewhere, so don't feel embarrassed or afraid. Let's just dive in and learn about the home buying process, what it's all about.
That's
So,
right.
so
That's
let's
right.
get started, Desiree. Let's wherever you want to begin, you go
Yeah.
ahead.
Well, I always tell the background of me too. I've been in the financial world for 16 years. And I've been originating mortgages for the last 3 years. I've done it on a big bank retail side, and now I do it in private lending side. So the private lending and retail banking, big banks like Wells Fargo, Bank of America, SunTrust, Truist, their process is totally different from what I do.
Okay.
One of the things that I specialize in is if we can get you approved and we need to improve credit score, we need to add a non-occupied borrower income. We look at all of that stuff. We're not just saying, oh, yeah, you don't have a 700 denied, move on to the next. That doesn't happen with me, Desiree. I typically walk you through the process from start to finish, and even preparing yourself, because some people may not be ready initially when they do the application with me, but like it's some steps you can do to get there. It's not unobtainable. Like you can definitely do it with a team, somebody just holding you accountable. Because if I say, okay, we can pay down these 3 credit cards, you would definitely qualify. So I need for you, like I might call you and be like,
You need
Christine,
to
did
pay
you
the
pay that
credit
back?
card.
Did you make that credit card payment? I may do that. I just know some of the big banks, that's not what they getting ready to do.
Yes.
Yeah,
And that's what we have to do. We work as a team. Desiree will call you, I will call you, because we want to see you win, we want to see you get there. And
exactly.
we do have people that call in quite often and
Hmm.
they want to buy. They're not ready, but we do walk them through the whole process. And it does start with your credit.
Hmm.
But some people want to jump ahead, right? Desiree, go look at homes.
Oh
We don't
yeah.
we don't
Oh
want to do that. Tell
yeah.
them about that, Desiree.
So
We don't want to do that yet.
typically, 9 out of 10 home buyers normally start with the realtor agent because typically you don't see me, the mortgage lender. You can
Mhm.
go, online. You're going to see Christine deals and heals everywhere, but you may
Mhm.
not see Desiree just because I didn't wear my red lipstick today, but I will make sure to have it on the next one though.
Yes, ma'am.
But yeah, it's just people go to realtors first because they are able to kind of, I guess, connect with you guys first.
Yeah.
But when you do connect with a realtor, they're going to get you back to me, the lender, because they're going to be like, okay, so what do you approve for? And that's going to be that magic number, and the realtor is going to ask that, and you're going to have to be like, oh, I have no idea. And that's when you'll come over to me, Desiree, and we can get that whole process started with understanding what your pre-approval amount is. I typically give people their max. So your max is not necessarily what you can purchase a home for. It's just what the number you can go up to.
Yeah, because we have some people. All right, so the first step is you want to talk to your realtor, me, Deals and Heels,
Mm-hmm.
and we sit down, we talk about, get to know each other. I get some information from you, and then I start connecting you like to the lender, and Desiree will look to see, she'll check into your credit and things like that. And
Mm-hmm.
then some people, they want to jump, they want to see the home, and then it's like a $500,000 home.
Yeah.
But when you get approved, you may be disappointed, right, Desiree?
Yeah.
Just because we all want to start with a big, beautiful home doesn't
Yeah.
mean that's what you're going to be approved for.
Right.
But you could start somewhere, you
Mm-hmm.
start somewhere first, and it's a stepping stone to get to
Yeah.
that big, beautiful home.
Yeah, and a lot of people that I help, they use, like when people say generational wealth, they're using the real estate, their home, to get them to another place. And I
Mhm.
always use the analogy: a car and a house do two different things.
Thank you.
A
I was
house,
just going to say
the
that.
house value is going to do this. You drive the car off the lot at 10,000, it's worth 2 cents when you get on the road. So, some people use a home as a stepping stone. Some people use it as their primary residence, their forever home. Some people, um, it's a second home. It's an investment property. Like all of those things, lenders can help you determine. Like if I want to have investment, I want to have 3 investment properties, then you got to get with a lender. Unless you got, if each home is 100 grand and you just got $300,000 laying around, then you can go and buy that home. But most people have to have a mortgage because no one has $200,000 or $300,000 just sitting around.
Yeah.
And then the credit and the income are the two biggest factors of your approval. Credit can be as low as 580, but I tell people all the time, you have to have some type of assets because the lower the credit score is considered a risk to most lenders. So I use people's 401k accounts all the time. They don't have to touch that money, but lenders like to see that people have those funds set aside in the
Mhm.
event they need to get, money for a mortgage payment.
I'm so glad that you talked about the car. I just made a post about that
Mm-hmm.
because like I said, we empower women here, and I see women get their income tax, and the first thing they want to do is run and buy a big expensive car.
Yep.
That is not a wise decision, especially
No.
if you don't own a home yet,
Right.
because like
And you can
Desiree.
use that. You can use that home to buy your car. I've had tons of people
Exactly.
who like we talk about the value of your home increasing. That's equity. You can pull
Exactly.
equity out of your house. You can have your mortgage payment set to where you're comfortable, and then you say, you know what, I want to pull some equity out. I want to redo my kitchen. I want to go buy that, 745 BMW. Like you can use it for whatever you want to. But it gives you the opportunity to buy a home and build wealth and have equity that you can use as an emergency fund if you just want to do that.
Hi, Betsy. Yeah, and what I was explaining is, how about have the house with the driveway, and then you could pull your car up into that
Yes.
driveway.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah. Go ahead
Desiree,
and buy a house with a garage. Go ahead and
yeah,
do that. Yeah.
yeah. Like Desiree said, when you ladies, when you buy a car, you get your income tax money. You buy a car, literally when you drive it off the lot, that value goes down. It's not really worth anything. When you buy your home, you're building equity. So you could pull equity out of that home.
Hmm.
I just had someone, a friend of mine, she needed uh, work done in her mouth. She pulled equity out to fix her
Hmm.
teeth,
Yeah.
put
You
kids
can
into
use it for
college.
anything you want to. It's not a loan that is specific. If you want to pull out 20, 30,000 of equity, you can pull it out, use it for whatever you want to. We, the
And,
lender, are not going to ask you, what are you using your equity for?
mhm,
It's none of our business. We could care
yeah.
less.
And like she said, your house is going to go up in value. It's going to appreciate. You could pull that money out, buy another property with that. You can
Yeah.
rent that property out, and that person will pay that mortgage for you. Now you own two properties,
Mm-hmm.
and you can do it again with that second property you just purchased. You can
Exactly.
pull equity out of that, get a
Mm-hmm.
loan, whatever, get a third property. Now you got some investment properties,
Yeah.
put money in your pocket. But
That's exactly
buying
it.
it,
But
buying the car is a mistake.
oh, I know. I know. I look, yes. We look, I am definitely a witness of that. And look, just have to rethink, just take your mind to a different place. Cause I know I grew up with aunts and uncles and they had really, really fly cars. And I'm
Hi,
like, oh,
Simpson.
I'm getting ready to get me one. And I'm sitting over here in an apartment. That don't even make sense. Don't pull a
Exactly.
745 up in no apartment building. Don't
Yes.
do that.
No.
And
So
I can tell you from experience, don't do that.
yes, and we've all been there. We're not. I've been there. Like I've been kicked
Yes.
out of an apartment with my children as a single mother, and this is
Yeah.
why I stand today to help women. I've been there. I've
Yeah.
rented. I had to pay. Ding. What was his name? Jim May Dong knocking at my door every
Oh
month,
no.
clapping his hands. Where's my money? That is such a degrading feeling.
Yeah.
Or like you could be thrown out at any time. So, it's important to me to just help women and be
Yeah.
secure in your life, because I know I'm here talking, but I've been through all the rough roads.
That's
I
right.
have been through so many storms, but I just want to share my experience and the knowledge now to help other people. And
Yeah.
that's what we're here doing. So don't feel shame. Don't feel bad. Feel
Right.
bad staying stuck in the same situation,
Right.
renting, buying liabilities instead of assets.
Yeah.
Um, that's all right. I have somebody on here
Okay.
who owns a home.
Mm-hmm.
She possibly wants a second home. She has a husband that probably can co-sign and things like that. So if you want to get into any detail about that, owning a home, buying a second home,
Mm-hmm.
I know there was a question there. So
Okay. So if you own a property currently, but you're looking at a second property, it can be considered a secondary residence if you want to have two. It just depends on, I've had people who sell their primary residence and put some funds towards a new property. It could be where your family grows and you want to get a bigger home. Or if you do want to keep your primary residence, but you want to move to a second property, we do as lenders ask what the property is going to be used for. So if you got two properties both in a 20-mile radius, one's going to be a primary, one's going to be a secondary. They both can't be primary residents. Typically, investment properties can be considered, different when, if you're going to be using the property for income, we can actually use, long as you have a lease before you close, if your second property is going to be an investment, we can use some of that income to approve you for the second home. We just have to show a lease agreement prior to closing on the property. But you can have multiple properties.
What type of loan would they be taking out when they own a home and they're trying to get a secondary home?
So that will fall in any of the mortgage categories. So you only have 4 mortgage types. You have conventional, FHA, USDA, and VA. So if you are a veteran, veterans allow you to use your mortgage benefits entitlement multiple times. You don't have to just use it one time and you can't use it anymore. VA loans allow you to use your entitlement multiple times. And it just depends on the individual, Christine, because if they will approve their primary, say that was FHA, and at the time, say the credit might have been under 650. So that's why they were in the FHA. But now say they've been in the house for 5, 10, 15 years, but now the credit is up to 700. They'll probably qualify the second home as a conventional.
Okay.
Yeah. So the mortgage type allows you to buy a second home, but it depends on the individual of which mortgage type is going to be.
Okay.
Yeah.
And also, ladies, some people, they bought a home as a first-time home buyer.
Mm-hmm.
And then I know you can get out of that first-time home buyer. And just because you bought a home as a first-time home buyer, you can do it again. Doesn't mean it's a one and done. Can you explain that, Desiree?
Yes. So here in the state of North Carolina, as long as if you are currently on a deed of a property, so you don't even have to own it. Just say your mom owns a house and she's got your name on it, you are considered a home buyer. If you have your own home and just say you sold it 3 years ago, you are a first-time home buyer again. So the limitation.
I'm sorry, because you said North Carolina. I just want to let everybody know I am licensed PA, and this goes for PA as well. I'm New Jersey, South Carolina, North Carolina. So this is kind of.
So PA has the 3-year limit as well? Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, So 3 years, as long as you haven't been on no deed of any real estate for 3 years, you are considered a first-time home buyer again.
Okay. So you can do it again. Mm-hmm. I have a question. How does pulling equity out work? Do you pay it with the current mortgage payments, or would that need to be paid back as a loan?
So yes, it is a loan separate from your mortgage payment. So how you can look at it is if your home is $300,000 and you owe, say, the mortgage company $200,000, you have $100,000 in equity. That's the amount you can pull out as cash. It is going to be a separate loan. There's typically 2 kinds. So there's a line of credit equity and there's a equity loan. So the equity loan, if you take $60,000 out and your monthly payment is $400 or $500, that's how much you have to pay outside of your mortgage payment. It's 2 separate loans.
Okay, and what was the other one?
The line of credit would be you qualify for, say, 30,000. You take 30,000 out, but you only use 10. So you're only paying back whatever the 10 is.
Like a credit card.
Yeah, it's like a line of credit, but they're using the equity in your home as the collateral, basically. And then once you use the line up and it's back at 0, you can use it again. So but typically like the loan gives you the money. If you get 30 grand, the equity loan is going to give you the whole 30 grand up front. Then you'll start making a payment on it a month later.
I hope that answered your question, Sinsen.
But I always tell people using equity money is cheaper than doing a personal loan. So right now, if interest rates are 5 and 6%, that's how much you would pay on an equity loan. So you had 100,000 you wanted to pull out, you're only paying 5 or 6% in interest. versus a personal loan for that amount is going to be 20 to 30% on top of getting 100,000. And then the equity line of credit is a variable rate. That's why I tell people that's a variable.
Samantha Sim has a question, and I can't see it. Do you see it on your end, babe? I'm sorry.
I see. How does you pull equity out? What do you pay with the current mortgage?
Oh,
separate?
explain. I don't. Wait. Yeah, but my computer keeps covering the question for some reason. I'm sorry, guys. Like it's covering the question. I need the tech guy. Sorry, guys. Right here. Okay, explain one occupier income and how that can come into play.
Like rental income.
Sorry. Explain non-occupier income and how.
Oh, non-occupied. So non-occupied borrower just means that we use their income and credit for the application, but they do not live in the property. So that's all. Most people do that. Like I have a lot of young people who their parents might be a co-borrower on their mortgage for them to get approved for a certain amount. But that's just using their income to increase approval is typically what a non-occupied co-borrower is for.
Okay.
And they are responsible for that mortgage as well. So if they're on your mortgage and you don't pay it, they are responsible for the mortgage as well.
Okay. And if you have any other questions, just keep posting them up as we're talking. We will continue checking them. I'm here to support. This is true what you're saying. Thank you for the support. We appreciate that. And
so he bought his first home at 25. Okay.
Yeah, that's awesome. The younger you start, I'm telling you, the more opportunity.
Yes.
So how about hey, Misty, thank you for watching. So I'm trying to think what other important things we want them to know.
So it was the down payment assistance was one. So in the state of North Carolina, there's different ones you can use. I always tell people two things. It's going to be based off your credit score of 640 or higher and your debt to income 45% or less. Those are the two biggest factors when getting down payment assistance in the state of North Carolina.
And for our PA people, we do have the Philly First grant out right now. And again, it works the same way in PA. They kind of are looking at your debt to income ratio, your credit, and your income. They want to see if you want to go over that, your savings, all the things that you're asking for if somebody were to apply to get a loan.
Yes. So the things they're looking for is obviously income, consistent income. We can use W-2, 1099, self-employed borrowers, child support, Social Security, disability. We use all of that income. We just have to show it's consistent. And then once we get the income, like I said, we pull credit. Assets is another one that is not needed for the down payment assistance, but us as lenders typically use far as the approval. So if you have approved for, say, $300,000 and your mortgage payment is $1,400, then we may have to see 2 months reserves in an account to be approved. And that's not you using those funds. That's just showing an account with your name on it with at least $2,800 in it.
Okay. I'm just checking, see if we have any other questions. Nothing yet. Okay. And I'm trying to think what else. All right. So we went over the loans. Do you want to go over USDA loan?
Yes, USDA loans are definitely going to become more and more popular because I know it's me. I like to live out in the country. I don't need to be in the city limits. Y'all Y'all can have that. I'm good out here with the cows and the deers. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Um, but USDA is a good loan to do. It is based on the location of the home. So if the home is located outside of the city limits, some city limits, depending on some of the big cities, even if you're outside the city limits, may not qualify for USDA because so many people are moving in those areas. But it does offer you zero down payment. So that's one of the benefits. Most of the other mortgage types, you have to bring 3% of the purchase price, FHA 3.5%. VA and USDA are the only ones that do not have a down payment.
Also, I know I'm jumping around a little bit, but there's a mandatory amount, which some people get confused. We do have, there's programs where we can get you grant assistance, and people, they think that's going to cover everything up front. But with which loans is there a mandatory amount where they have to bring out of pocket, and how much is that? Which type of loans is that with?
So those are out of the four, it's only going to be two that have required down payments. So not USDA, FHA is 3.5 of the purchase price, and conventional is 3% of the purchase price.
So whatever
but the other
home
two,
is
they
worth,
do not.
So if you're buying a home that's $300,000, you're required to bring at least 3.5% with the FHA loan, and then 3% if it's conventional of whatever the purchase price is. You'll need that, and then we can get you some assistance for the leftover.
And I'll tell the dollar amount too. If anything under 300,000, typically 15,000 down payment assistance would cover down payment and closing costs.
And also, which I tell everybody, whatever else is left over, maybe the grant isn't covering it, I also ask for seller's assistance. So say there's 5,000 left over, or we try to get your appraisal covered, taxes, or whatever else may come up. I asked for seller's assistance, which I just got a young lady, $12,000, which is kind of rare. I do fight for that with every client of mine. We try our hardest, Desiree and I, to have you come with as little money as possible out of your pocket. So with the 3.5 or the 3% with FHA and conventional, there's nothing we can do for that. That is a mandatory amount. So it just depends on the amount of your purchase price, so if you don't want a really expensive house, then start out small and work your way up, like we said. I'm trying to think, what else am I forgetting to talk about?
I think somebody has a question about a DSCR loan, which is an investment loan.
Yep, I was going to ask you about that next. So, yeah, explain to our listeners, what is that type of loan and how is it used? What's a good candidate for that loan?
So the standard DSCR loan has at least 10% down, sometimes 5%. So when people are wanting to go the DSCR loan route, it's just for investment properties. So if you don't think you can bring 10% up front to get a investment property, then you can start off with your primary residence. That does not have to be your primary residence forever. Like, that can become your investment property. Because you got to think, you're bringing 3% for a primary, you're bringing up to 10% for an investment property. So that down payment is a huge amount that you have to have up front to purchase an investment property.
All right, so more investors use that.
Yeah, more investors use that have most people who have multiple rental properties typically can use that because they have that upfront cash to put towards an investment property.
Okay. And I know I get questions always asking me about people who are receiving disability. Are they able to get approved? So yeah, if someone's on disability receiving Social Security disability, are they able to get approved?
Yeah. Yeah. I have people all the time get approved with VA and disability income. Yeah, the
Okay.
income is what, like, once I run the numbers and get your income and credit, I can tell you what this is, what it's going to approve you for. If it's approving you for, say, 195 and you want to be in the 250 range or higher, then at that point we may look into a non-occupied co-borrower to get excuse me, to get more income.
Yeah, I know that Desiree gets very creative and we try to figure things out. I just want to warn everybody too, we are not the police. We are here to help you. We're on your
Right.
side. People get embarrassed or they're afraid to tell us things. Look, we're using grandma, whoever we could get.
That is a
Whoever
fact.
we can
Everybody can buy a home. It
get,
ain't just for 20-year-olds. Like
whoever
I've
we can
sold
get.
homes to 50 and 60-year-olds.
If you have
They
something or your
first
husband
home.
has something,
So
yeah.
it's
So
never too late and it's never too early.
we try. Whoever is in your household, we try to figure something out. But don't feel embarrassed. Just tell us what it is. The more details and the things we know, we're better, better chances that we can help you. And that's what we're here to do. We're not here to judge you or any of that. That's not what we do here. So
Exactly.
never
We're
feel
here to help.
embarrassed or shame. We all been there, and like I said, we
Yes.
have to start somewhere. Um, how about refinancing a home, and how does that work, and how soon can we refinance?
So typically, have being in a refinance is normally 12 months. So being in your home for 12 months, then you have the option to refinance. But we have to have a benefit. So either you are pulling out equity to refinance, or you're just getting a better interest rate. So those are the two main reasons why you will refinance. But as long as you've been in your home and you have 12 months of payments, we can refinance you, because right now that is very popular.
Yes, and ladies, because I always say this, once every time someone's going to buy, I feel like, and I said this before, everybody comes out of the woodworks, your family, your friends, your mother, your father, they're all an expert all of a sudden.
Mm-hmm.
Don't listen. I'm sorry, because your mom and dad sometimes are hurting you. Stop waiting with the rate, because the rate changes. The rate is always going up and down. And I always say, marry the house, date the rate.
Yep.
You can always change the rate. Right now, rates have dropped. What are we at about, Desiree, with rates?
The lowest I had for this month going into February was 5.85.
Which is wonderful. It's
Yeah,
really
because
good.
last year I was closing loans at 7%.
Yeah, so we're at a good rate. So don't worry about the rate. Um, we can refinance you if the rate drops down. And how long after being in the home, purchasing their home, can they refinance into a lower rate?
Typically 12 months.
12 months.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, in about 12 months, say you get into your home, you purchased it, you don't like the rate, we start seeing them drop down, we're going to let you know. We're going to refinance you out and get you into that lower rate. And we can get you out of a first time home buyer loan,
Mm-hmm.
right, Desiree? And get you
Yeah,
whatever.
most of the first time home buyer loans, their criteria is to live in the house, sometimes 5 years, sometimes 10 years. So that part is just if you refinance. When we do that and you have the down payment on top of your mortgage, we just got to make sure we have enough to refinance on top of that second grant that's attached to your home. So that can be a little tricky, but after that 1 year, I normally tell people, let's just run some numbers and see what it looks like. We need to wait and see if that house value goes up to this point. Then we might have a better option to refinance. But we can always have the conversation a year after you purchase your home.
And the other thing is, again, about people jumping in when you're going to buy and becoming an expert. I see it all the time because I'm in this every day. Well, my friend said, and my mom said, and my dad, that didn't happen when he bought, which was like 50 years ago. And they swear,
1955.
and they swear, whatever happened 50 years ago is the same in this market. And your friend who's telling you, who's in your ear, I had this experience, believe me, they have different credit than you, a different credit score. They have a different income than you. They
Right.
have different debt than you. They may have more in their bank. So whatever your friend's situation is going to be completely different than your situation. And
That's right.
again, we're going to get you the cheapest rates that we can, the best rate and situation we can put you in, we will do it. But whatever anyone else's situation is completely different than yours. So
Mhm.
your rate might be different than theirs. You might have to put more money down than your friend, but it's just you have a completely different situation. No two situations are the same. So don't listen to other people. Listen to your lender, listen to your realtor,
Right.
the professionals who actually know what's going on, and we're going to direct you in the right direction. We're not here to hurt you, but your situation is your situation. So
Exactly.
it's important to know that before everybody starts. We see it, me and Desiree, all the time. My dad said,
My daddy said, oh my. I'm like, okay.
and they really hurt their kids sometimes, even though they're trying to help. And well, I paid this, or I had this rate. And again, it is like, could be 40, 30, 20 years ago. It's a completely
Yeah.
different market right now. It's not.
Even times the houses and how stuff worked in the early 2000s is totally different from now in 2026. So,
Yeah.
but I
So
remember coming into the financial world in 2006 and mortgage interest rates were 18%.
yes, I say it every time. The Rocky movie, that they're talking about the rates. They were 17%. Now we're
And they
at 5.
were, yep.
People are like, oh, the rate, because of what other people are telling
Yep.
them.
What they see on TV. Don't go by that. Yeah.
So don't listen to people. Just talk to your lender, talk to your realtor, and we're going to get you the best rate that we can. And that's what we're here to do. Because we feel better when we can do that for you.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. I love going to the table and giving people cash back at the table. I love those.
Absolutely. It feels really good,
Hmm.
and then they're happy with us, and that's what we want at the end of the day.
Exactly.
Do we have any more questions coming in? Anybody have anything they want answered? Please let us know. That's what we're here for. We want to help you. And don't feel embarrassed. Whatever it is, throw it out there. Want you to feel comfortable after this podcast, and we want you to know more and feel like you know the home buying process. And any other thing you want to know. What else do you got, Desiree? What else do you think?
That's all I have. The mortgage types, DPA programs, like I said, credit and debt to income base. And then, like I said, USDA is probably going to become a lot more popular because it does offer that zero down payment. So,
Mm-hmm.
and you can always go to USDA.gov and type in an address. So you have a neighborhood you're interested in living in, go to USDA.gov and type in an address, and it'll tell you if that area is eligible or not. But yeah, USDA is definitely going to become more popular because of the zero down payment. Because the VA military people, they're already taking advantage of it because they get the zero down payment with a VA loan.
And how about people who are first responders? Do we have anything for first responders?
Yeah, so the first responders have the same thing as the first time home buyers. They fall in that same category. So even if they had a house and sold it last year, they could possibly get that down payment assistance money earlier than 3 years because they are first responder.
Awesome.
And most of the city programs allow first responders, nurses, officers, people who work for the county. They can apply for the down payment assistance through their county or city that they live in.
Yeah, firefighters.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the VA. I mean, they don't have to put anything down. So please utilize
Zero.
that because
Mm-hmm.
it's amazing program. And how about, okay, so we have a lot of people who are first time home buyers. They're approved FHA and they want a fixer upper.
Yeah,
Can
you
you
don't
talk
want to be
about
getting no
that?
fixer upper with a FHA. Yeah,
Okay.
FHA, USDA, and VA are all government backed loans. They look at everything. You cannot have no peel and paint. If there's spots in that roof or anything like that, foundation issues, they're not going to approve that loan. You would have to get approved for conventional. And typically those, your credit score has to be over 700 to get a conventional.
And how about with the FHA? What type of credit score are we looking?
So anything below 7, so 680 and below is typically going to fall in the FHA mortgage.
And FHA, you have to have you're going to have an inspection, you're going to have an appraisal, and you cannot have a fixer upper. It has to be in livable conditions. Otherwise, they're not going to approve that loan because they know like FHA is more considered like low income. So they know you're not going to be able to fix all these repairs. And it's actually helping you because you want to have a home. If you are lower income, you want to have a home that's in good condition. It's past inspection and it's not going to fall apart on you a little time after you getting in there. You don't want that.
And
And
FHA is credit based. So it doesn't, a lot of people think it's for low income, but it's not. I have nurses who qualified in 100,000 income and get approved for FHA. It's based on credit score. So it gives them a more ability to purchase a home, say if they're in the low sixes and get a decent rate.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what we would do is, and this is how that process works. Once Desiree, you would see me, I get your information, I connect you to Desiree. Desiree would look into all of your credit and everything she's asking for, credit, bank statements, your pay stubs. Once she gives you a pre-approval, then that's when we start looking for a home. I take you out, but we want to first see, find homes that meet your price range. You'll tell me all these details and I'm going to find homes that fit your criteria. Then we would go see those homes. If you like one of those homes, that's when I would then put in an offer for you. Once your offer is accepted, then we would get your home inspection within about 10 days. The inspector would then send me a report and you do have to pay for the inspection out of pocket. So you do not want to keep liking homes, putting in an offer. You want to find one home that you really like and then put an offer. You're going to lose money because you have to pay for inspection. You can
Right.
waive inspection. There's certain situations to waive it, but not as like first home and
Okay.
things. You want to make sure your home is in
Look,
decent
real
condition.
life.
Hi.
Say, hey,
This is
Layla.
real life. This is what we do. We got
Get
all
on
here,
the camera.
our kids, women, our plates are full.
Yes. Look, she
But,
said she want more burger.
sounds
So I
good.
hate to jump off the call, but the 4-year-old wants more burgers.
I know. But yeah, I don't see any more questions coming in. But if you do have more questions, Desiree has to feed her children.
Yes.
Please just let us know. This is gonna be pre-recorded so you can play it back. And
Okay.
if you have any more questions, Desiree, you want to let them know where to find you, how to reach you,
Yeah.
your
Yep. You
information.
can look me up on all social media platforms as Desiree Stewart. You can Google Desiree Stewart, mortgage specialist, equity resources. My office is in Greensboro, North Carolina, but I am licensed in the whole state of North Carolina and the whole state of Virginia. So long as you buy a house in those 2 states, I'll be able to help.
Okay. Well, we appreciate having you on, and we'll be talking soon. And again, I'm licensed PA, New Jersey, North and South Carolina, and I also am able to pretty much do any state in the U.S. and even out of the U.S. with Keller Williams, and still have
Nice.
my hand in it. So just let me know, and anything we could do to help you, we're here for you. So I'm Deals and Heels. I hope everyone has a wonderful night. Desiree, thank you so much
Bye.
for being a
You're
guest.
welcome. Have a good
Thank
evening.
you. You as well. Bye, ladies. Good
Bye.
night.
Bye.
Bye, sweetie.